Greetings. Welcome to Nature's Bounties. What a privilege to know that God has many wonderful things in nature to help us to live life to the fullest. Oh yes, I know that in this side of eternity there isn't much life compared to Bible times, but the ones that we have, the years that He has given us, we can enjoy it to the fullest. So let's ask for His blessings as we take a very important discussion at this time. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, what a wonderful God you are. Thank you so much for the things in nature. Now help us to understand them so that we can use them and live life to the fullest, the abundant life that you have promised us. We ask in Jesus' name. So welcome again. I always rejoice in the fact that life can be very, very joyous, melodious, happy. Well, if we plan it so and we do it that way. I want to talk about three things that can shorten lives, that can make life difficult, impossible, unhealthy, and then invariably can lead to death. There are three things that have been identified, and I want to look at those three things. So I will look at the first one that has been identified as the number one greatest killer of man. It's a habit, and like every other habit, it's a choice. And when that choice is made, to turn back is always very difficult. So let's take a look at it. Cigarette smoking. Number one known killer of man and woman and children, unfortunately. Smoking, it's a choice. And it can kill. Now, as I love to look at statistics. I love to look at what is going on in Africa. I love to look at what is going on in the world when it comes to health, since I'm a health practitioner. When I looked at statistics, I found that 50% of all deaths and illnesses are either unnecessary or premature. Why are people dying before time? Some people will say, how do you know that it's not their time? Well, we'll know that it's not time because one should not die at the age of 20. Why? One will say, well, if the person is 94, 100 and something, yeah, he has lived a good life. But why is a 30-year-old dying? Why are 40-year-olds dying? We need to look at it because that is not good news. And cigarette smoking has been found to really directly be the result or the precursor or the cause of death. And if that be the case, what should we do? Now, I have a few statistics I can share, but one of them is the one that I want to talk about. And that is the one conducted by the Carter Center of Emory University in the United States. And I like their conclusion. They said that healthy lifestyle is two times as effective as medical technology when we talk about increasing life expectancy. Life expectancy. If we want to look at life expectancy and the reasons why one can live long and live well, then healthy lifestyle is an important factor. They must have done their research and their work very well to come to that very interesting conclusion. Now, when we look at cigarette smoking, why is it that it can result in such debilitating diseases and even death? It's because, one, it's a habit, and whenever we start a habit, it can lead to addiction, and cigarette smoking leads to addiction. And when something leads to addiction and it is harmful, how many poisonous substances have been identified in a smoke? 3,000, some statistics, they say 4,000 known poisons inside the smoke, the tobacco. So, what do we do about this? Well, it's not to start, first of all. I often wonder, I say, is there enough awareness to let people know, especially young people, that they shouldn't start smoking? Yes, that is number one, prevention. I will never get tired of emphasizing prevention, prevention, prevention is very important. So let our young people know that it's not smart, it's not cute, it's not something that will tell that I am something in society or among my friends if I choose to smoke. So let's teach them not to start to smoke. And if some have started, is there a way out? Absolutely. Can one quit smoking? Oh yes. I have seen many who have stopped, who have kicked the habit, as they say. Those who have worked with addicts have found that they can successfully help them to adopt the habit of not smoking by doing several things. One, choose not to smoke. Everything that we decide to do in life comes from a choice. I have been smoking, I want to stop. So that's a choice. So there must be the choice, because some say, leave it alone, forget about it. Some will say, this is going to kill me anyway, so let it be. But if we choose not to smoke, it's number one step. Help the person to choose not to smoke to the best that you can, which is why we are saying this right now, so that the choice can be made not to smoke. Then choose to have divine help. Alcohol Anonymous found that those who have divine help, power from above, usually they are able to sustain their choice. So when we decide, oh, I will ask for power from on high, then I have added to my own choice the power that will help me. Then don't keep cigarettes in hidden places at home. You know, little children, young people, and even adults, we say we want to give up something, then we hide some, perchance, maybe I may want to go back to it. No, don't do that. Don't hide cigarettes anywhere once you have chosen not to smoke, Then practice deep breathing. Breathe from the diaphragm, right in the middle of the abdomen. Take slow, deep breath from the diaphragm, especially when the urge comes to go back to the habit to smoke. Daily exercise is very important. Sitting down in one place, watching videos, watching television, doing something on the radio, and so forth, sitting on the computer for too long will not help. Usually the hand will go to where it used to stay, and it will be picked up. So exercise. Stay at a task, especially a sitting task, for a short time. Get up and walk. As you walk, breathe in and out very well. Get enough sleep. As adults, we need 8 hours of sleep every evening. Afternoon naps, they call power nap, shouldn't be more than 10 minutes to doze off and then wake up and be about. Drinking enough water inside and enough water outside is very important to quit smoking. Avoid anything that is stimulatory like caffeine. They will trigger the urge very strongly. Then alcohol. No. Don't substitute alcohol for cigarette smoking. It doesn't work. That cigarette smoking habit will come back in full force. Then heavily spiced foods that will make the mouth pucker when they put some things in your mouth. But then it is exciting to taste and to love to use it. So we must avoid those spicy foods. And some researchers have postulated that when we start giving children spicy foods, it's a stimulating effect that can become one that can lead to a habit of more stimulatory effects in the body. That is, choosing those things that can have the effect of being stimulatory, stimulating the nerves to such actions as to want more of that. And so people who want to quit smoking, who have chosen to quit smoking, if they can take these habits, this pattern, incorporate it into their life, then it helps a lot. Now, I mentioned that cigarette smokers should not take alcohol. Oh, are they the only ones that should not drink alcohol? Absolutely not. Everyone should leave the use of alcohol. It is well to avoid alcohol because it is the number 2 habit that can lead to premature death. It's a known killer. It affects, like cigarettes, every cell in the body. You know, we are made up of cells. The smallest units of our body are the cells. And when these cells have alcohol, because it acts in the body as poisonous. Some people say, I only take moderately. I don't take too much. I don't take a lot. Well, moderate drinking, maybe a glass or two a day, some people have been able to stay on it. But then, it does not become moderate when all is said and done after some time. And even the moderate amount destroy the cells. So when we talk about people having problems with the liver cirrhosis, and so many other problems, especially cancer, we can trace it back to those things that kills the cell. When we look at the needs of the cell, there are 5 of them, and I will never get tired of just expressing them to keep us being reminded that these things are absolutely necessary. Alcohol acts as a poison. There should be no poison in the cell. There should be proper elimination of dirt, of germs, of waste products from the cells. Alcohol do not allow that to happen. The cells should be well fed with good nutrition, carbohydrates, protein, vitamins and minerals, all that the cells need. Alcohol is not food. Oxygen. Alcohol do not allow the proper transfer of oxygen into the cells, and neither do alcohol replace water intake for the cell. So when we look at it closely as to destroying cells, then we know that we don't want that. So all of the problems that got to do with the esophagus, the liver, the gastrointestinal tract, alcohol weakens every part of these organs, destroys the lining of the cells in every organ that has an inner membrane, and which one does not have it. So alcohol destroys everything. When we look at cigarette smoking, we say second-hand smokers, they have problems too. Many ladies, many women have died who never smoked from the effect of smoking by the spouse. Or children, asthma and all other lung diseases are usually caused by parents that smoke. Well, how about alcohol? Do we have effects on those who live with alcoholics? Absolutely. Which alcoholic person have we been able to find that runs a peaceful, harmonious family? When the funds of the family is spent on these 2 habits, it drains the income of the family. Whether it's the woman that is drinking or the man that is drinking, it drains the resources that will have been used to help the family grow, prosper. Therefore, these 2 habits taken together or separately, they affect others. Drunk drivers kill many on the roads who are driving and going their own way, or even pedestrians, because with the effect of alcohol in the brain, the nerves cannot take action as they should. And we often have individuals who are hurt on the street, going their own way, on their own business, by the person who indulged in alcohol. Sometimes when I wake up early in the morning and go to my farm, I take note of those who open their stores very early in the morning. And I get very sad to see that those who open their stores early are the alcohol sellers. Who do they sell to very early in the morning? I wonder. And sometimes I pause to look, and I see that most of those that take them early in the morning are the commercial drivers. They are the ones going on a trip. They didn't take breakfast most of the time. The food sellers are not out yet. They are still getting things together. But the alcohol sellers, they don't have to cook their alcohol in the morning. They are all inside bottles and sachets. Unfortunately, if you can't afford to buy the bottle, you can buy it in sachet form. And in Africa, this is becoming something that is very, very common. Therefore, the passenger wakes up in the morning, enters the vehicle, expecting to get to his or her destination, and what do you find? An alcoholic driver that could not make the right decision, especially in an emergency, and pushes the wrong pedal, and then many lives are lost. But we never know, because at least in this part of the world, there aren't blood tests taken to see what's in the blood of the driver that is driving the vehicle. Was he under the influence? These habits are killing not only the person that has formed the habit, but many others around that person. Therefore, we all have a responsibility. If we find somebody who is getting indulged in these two habits, let's do everything within our power to influence that person in the right way, to choose to stop, and to find help for that person if it is beyond the stage where the person can just voluntarily stop and don't do it again. Let's get help for all those who are in the habit of not being able to stop bad habits. Because when we look at the research that has been done on cancer, a lot of individuals are dying or have died prematurely from cancer because of these two habits. The Bible says to me, it says in Proverbs 22 verse 3, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. So this to me is not talking only to the person that is involved in the habit, but to all of us that can help that person. If I'm a grown-up person now and my father is involved in alcohol, it's time for me to walk with him. If my parents are taking tobacco, they may have taken it for years and years and years. No, it does not matter. Help can still be given to them. So socially and economically, poverty can result from the choice of a family member smoking. Can a drunkard maintain a job? Usually not. Can a drunkard live long to sustain his family and not leave little ones without a parent? Nobody to take care of them? It happens. And I've talked about accidents of killing innocent people that result from these two habits especially. Well, I said there are three habits. How about if I just take a look at the third one before the time is gone totally? I have talked about this before, but because it is one of the three, I want to mention it as part of the three that has been found to, should I use the word help? No, that has been not help, but has caused the death of many prematurely. And that third one is cholesterol. Really? That's food. Yes, that's food. That is food. Our body produces cholesterol, but when we take too much from the animal sources, then it is a killer. How do those who are having too much cholesterol reduce their lifespan very quickly? Heart attack, stroke. All cardiovascular problems are related to high cholesterol. And you know, the alcohol and the tobacco smoking, they are also related to cholesterol. Most people that take or are addicted to the other two also take a lot of the third one. Why? Because they like to eat high fatty foods. Those are the foods that are stimulatory to the tongue. A simple diet is not exciting to the palate of a person that is smoking and taking a lot of alcohol. Not at all. So they like highly seasoned foods with a lot of oil that has been fried. The product, whatever it is, but usually it is animal products. It is the meat products, and they are prepared in such a way to excite the tongue, the palate of this type of person that is in addiction. Therefore, even if I don't smoke and I don't drink, my cholesterol level also should be right. It should be my H plus 100. That is the estimate that is found to be ideal for each adult. So if I add 100 to my age, then my cholesterol should not be higher than that. That's a general guideline. Now, how do I reduce cholesterol so that it does not result in premature death? There are a number of things that can be done. Number one is obvious. Eat less cholesterol. And where do you find cholesterol? Only from animal sources. So get off those type of food that supplies all the cholesterol if the cholesterol is high. Eat less fat. Even if the fat is not cholesterol in itself, the fat will result in the human body producing a lot of cholesterol. So the less fat that is taken, especially free fat. What do we mean by free fat? Fat that has been removed from the packaging. I like to call it packaging because you see, God has a way of packaging his things. Take, for example, coconut. There is fat, in fact, a lot of fat in coconut. But if I take the coconut, I grate it or I grind it, I put it down in some water, the oil will come to the top. I scrape the oil, I put it on fire, and it becomes clear oil. It's becoming free fat. If I take the almond and do the same thing, I get almond oil. If I do it for olives, I get olive oil. So no matter what the vegetable is, once we take the oil from the package as God packaged it, it becomes dangerous. Even as good as olive oil is, it can be taken in excess when it is already removed from the package. Now look at corn oil. It takes about 10, I believe, if my memory serves me right, to 16 cups of corn to get 2 tablespoons of corn oil. Will I sit down and take 12 cups of corn? Not likely, because not until then will I get 2 tablespoons of corn oil. Therefore, when we take our food as it is packaged, we will get all the fat that we need. And that's the way God made it. We'll get all that we need to cater for the needs of the fat that we need for our body. But when it is free, when it is running, then it's going to cause our body to produce cholesterol. And that will not help us. So what else can we do to reduce cholesterol when it is high? Eat more fiber. The only way to eat fiber is to eat foods from the plant kingdom. Animal products do not have any fiber, 0 fiber. Butter, cheese, meat, fish, all of them, no fiber. The only place where we get fiber are vegetables, fruits, grains, nuts, seeds. Those are the places where fiber are located. Then we must eat them whole. And that is why we talk about whole food diet. In some countries in Western world, you have whole food stores emphasizing the need to eat the food as God packages. Our God is all wise. Our God is so good. He provides for us in abundance that which is the best for our body. And that is why fruit is in abundance. Oh yeah, you can say that. Do we see them in the market? Well, the reason why we don't see fruit in some markets is because the people don't eat them. So marketers feel like, I need money when I take my wares to the markets and my produce to the markets. So if they are not buying these things, I better change. So instead of selling fruits, the fruit seller said I will sell shoes, for instance, because people are not eating it. So let's eat them so that we continue to have them. I went to my farm and found that a mango tree, not directly inside my farm, but outside on the street, just beside our fence in the farm, it has been burnt down. And we are trying to find out who burnt down the mango tree. And then they said, they are the people looking for animals. They want to catch animals during the dry season. So they set fire in the woods. When these fires start burning, they can then trap or run after or shoot or whatever they do to catch these little animals. And then they burnt down the mango tree. Oh, it's sad, but it is because of lack of knowledge. If only those people know that they had better keep the mango tree and eat plenty of mangoes rather than run after a little rat or a little squirrel or something like that and burn down the mango tree. Well, they didn't actually set fire on the mango tree, but whilst they were burning the bush around the mango tree, fire caught the mango tree too. And that's because there is no care and there is no desire to eat fruit. So it's a thing that we need to change. So also, we need to know our cholesterol level. Let's keep in mind that health is choice. These 3 killers, they are choices. If we decide to make the choice to eat in such a way, to live in such a way, to avoid these 3 killers, we will live long. We will enjoy the number of years that we live. We will be in a condition in which our minds will be clear. Our muscles will still work to the best of its capacity. We will minister to others. We will reach out. We will be a blessing. How wonderful it is to be a blessing. To be able to help others and then go to bed at night and have a good night's sleep. Because there is joy that fills the heart when one can minister to others. But when we are sick, we can't do that. We cannot. We are busy focusing on how to get well, which is very important. So when ill health comes, the number one focus of that person is how am I going to get well? Who will I talk to? Which hospital will I go? Which specialist can take care of these issues? What do I do about this? And so forth. Sometimes it is then that people are asking, what can I eat to be in good health? Or what can I eat to reverse this problem when all of the medicines have failed? We need to drink enough water, be temperate in all things. Health, indeed, is a choice. I trust, indeed, that today's topic has been a blessing to you, and that by the grace of God, we can continue in this vein, admonishing one another, helping others, and be a blessing to humanity, so that indeed our God will be so happy with us and will bless us also. The Lord has promised that He will take all diseases from us, but there is an if we obey Him. So let's all seek to obey Him. So obey Him is to choose to live naturally, because God is a God of nature. And the things that He has made, they are the most beautiful things and the health-giving things that will help us to live life to the fullest. And so I pray that the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord continue to make His face to shine upon you, that you enjoy the joy of the Lord in living well for His sake. Till we meet again by the grace of God.